Eric Wallace has single-handedly destroyed the Flash TV show. I am completely flabbergasted at how bad this series finale was. This season as a whole was just dog shit. Eric Wallace, I sincerely hope you don't write any more TV shows for the foreseeable future until you get your priorities in check, because you took a show called The Flash and made the last 3 episodes about Cecile Horton and Allegra Garcia and Keone, whatever her last name is. I don't think she has a last name. Your priorities are all over the place, man. Like, oh my god, that series finale, man. Zoom was defeated by Keone. Godspeed, an army of Godspeed, was defeated by Cecile Horton. What are you doing? Like, I'm actually so taken aback by how just god awful that series finale was. Like, it wasn't even average. I saw people tweeting that the series finale was good, which is wild. Like, my bar was already set so low just because it's a CW, and I was already expecting something terrible because Eric Wallace. But Eric Wallace has proven to me that he could do worse than what I have already imagined as the worst. I don't know who was in charge of writing the dialogue for this episode, but that whole scene where they're in the negative speed force, Zoom, Thawne, Eddie, Godspeed, and Savitar, like, whoever wrote the dialogue for that, they probably did it in like 5 minutes, because that was the corniest thing I've ever heard in my life. I could not take Zoom seriously. Zoom was menacing in season 2, and in this he's just laughable. Thawne's dialogue was also pretty trash. Godspeed, funnily enough, had the best dialogue out of all 4 of them. Savitar was okay. I don't know if they brought back the original voice actor for Savitar. They didn't even bring Evil Barry out of the Savitar suit. I know they didn't do that because I think Barry got Grant Gustin got COVID when they were filming that scene. But bro, just like, you could have filmed them separately and then filmed Zoom, Thawne, and Eddie and Thing's reaction. They did say this final season was rushed, but I don't give a shit if it's rushed. You can't have this bad of writing by just being rushed. And then you have people online saying the finale was good, that it was average. No, just no, man. It was anything but average. The only average part of the show was the last 5 minutes, where it was Barry and Iris having baby Nora, and Barry's last run. But that was the only good stuff. Cecile defeating an army of Godspeeds. She was wearing her suit. Where did she get the suit from? Wasn't that suit from the future in like 2049 or whatever? Like, how did she get the suit? Allegra destroyed Reverse Flash like it was nothing. Like, what? Keone, I'll give Keone the benefit of the doubt just because it's been established that her powers are overpowered as hell, which has been used as a plot device throughout this entire season. Cecile's powers have been used as a plot device throughout the last handful of seasons. It's just messed up, man. I had nothing against Cecile in the first couple of seasons when she was just being a DA or a lawyer or whatever she was, and she was just being like someone that Joe West couldn't confide to. Eric Wallace just handing out powers like it's Halloween candy to every single person on the show, and he's prioritizing the characters that don't need prioritizing. Allegra was, I think it's an original character from him, and he prioritized her like shit. Cecile, I'm pretty sure Eric Wallace has a thing for Cecile, or they might be dating behind the scenes. Who knows? I don't know if she's married or whatever, but the amount of screen time she's had, it's very questionable by Eric Wallace. Like, it's called The Flash, my guy. It's not called Cecile. It's not called Allegra. It's called The Flash. Oh, and then Eddie is Cobalt Blue. We only saw him in the suit for 1 episode. Barely anything at all. Him and Barry didn't even have a speedster fight. They just chased each other, and then Barry convinced him to be good by talking to him. Before which, Eddie had a negative speed force sword that was just absorbed completely by Jay Garrick, who learned some new power out of nowhere that lets him absorb speed energy. Like, what? I am so disappointed, and it makes me appreciate Arrow a lot more because they put their heart and soul into the last few seasons, and I appreciate that now more than ever. They actually respected the fans enough to do so. Eric Wallace put out a statement before the series finale of The Flash aired saying, the finale is a love letter to the fans. Yeah, bullshit, my guy. That shit was not a love letter to the fans. It was a love letter to Cecile and Allegra. I would have been fine if the series finale was just Barry, Cisco, Killer Frost against those 4 speedsters, maybe a version of Harrison Wells like Harry Wells or something. I would have been fine with that, but Harry Wells is erased from existence thanks to Eric Wallace. Cisco is gone. Killer Frost is dead thanks to Eric Wallace. Like, Eric Wallace, you are your worst enemy. You are your own worst enemy. You are the true villain of The Flash. You are the true villain of this series finale. The villain is not Cobalt Blue. It is not Earborn Thawne. It is not Savitar. It is not Zoom. It is not Godspeed. It is Eric Wallace. My guy, please do not write any more shows in the future, okay? Take a break, reevaluate your priorities, and then come back and write a kid show or something. Just don't touch comic book stuff, man. If you enjoyed this series finale, you know what? More power to you. I just couldn't, and I wish I could be smoking whatever you're smoking. I don't think there was a worse episode in The Flash. Okay, maybe there are a few worse episodes. It's a shame that this 10-year run of The Flash has come to a bitter and god-awful dog shit ending. Grant Gustin and Candice Patton, you guys were amazing for the show. John Wesley Shipp as well, you put your heart and soul into Jay Garrick as a character, and I appreciate you. Danielle Pennebaker as Caitlin Snow and Killer Frost, you were amazing. Carlos as Cisco, you were amazing as well. Also, I don't know why Savitar's light turned red at the end when they're fighting. Then they made Zoom's lightning red. They made Savitar's lightning red. They made Godspeed's lightning red. Like, I get it's a negative speed force, but it's so obvious they're just trying to save the budget. They don't want to use the budget for anything. I swear the amount of CGI they used for when Keone like ascended and normal Caitlyn came back, that VFX, it's like they put all their money into that compared to everything else. Holy shit, this show is just like a joke now. It's not even The Flash, it's the friends of The Flash who are the main characters. The whole opening theme song is proof. Why is Chillblaine in the goddamn theme song? Holy shit, man, this show has gone like downhill, man. I'm so disappointed. At the end of the day, you know, this show will still have a special place in my heart. There were good seasons, there were good episodes, and I will go back and rewatch those whenever I can. It's just a shame this final episode, like, it's tainted the way I look at the show as a whole, because I know how it ends and I know how garbage it is in the end. Like, the whole storyline with Eddie Thawne as Cobalt Blue, I've been fan theorizing that for the longest time. I had so many ideas, and they did none of those ideas, and they just made it the most cliche, boring thing. Like, the guy who plays Eddie, whoever directed those episodes, I'm pretty sure it was Eric Wallace. But yo, they made him a lot, like, the way he was acting, the guy was whining like a crybaby. At least make him somewhat like scary. Like, he wasn't like, the acting was so bad. I get it, they were rushing, so they probably did like a couple quick takes and whatnot. But anyways, most of The Flash season 9 was just terrible. Red Death, I'm not even gonna talk about Red Death. Eric Wallace, I don't know what you were smoking there as well. I don't know if you were simping for the actors who plays Red Death as well. Who knows? You seem to have a thing for all these characters. For me, the finale of season 9 is gonna be season 9 episode 10, the episode where Barry goes back in time to stop his younger self from being killed by Earborn Thawne, where the whole full circle moment happens. That will be my series finale, because that episode was actually decent. Anyways, let me know what you guys' thoughts were for the season 9 of The Flash and the series finale of The Flash. If you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, let me know why you disagree with me. You know, so at the end of the day, it's your opinion, and I respect it. I'll see you guys in a future video, whether it be about comic book stuff or whether it be something else. Who knows? But take care, guys. Peace.